Hi guys, and welcome to Webster Plays Games. This is Future Webster, just letting you know that this episode was a nightmare to record. I was plagued with technical difficulties and interruptions, and things just did not go as well as I was hoping. So I'm going to do what I could do with editing, but if things get a bit janky, or there's a while without talking, and just a bit more music than usual, that's why. But we do get a lot done, as past me is about to explain. So I hope you enjoy the episode, and if you manage to get all the way through, please do like and subscribe and comment, because this one is going to be hard work to get together. So this is the second time I've started recording this, because I did quite a lot and then realised my microphone had crashed, so you couldn't hear me say anything. So rather than redoing all that, I shall run through a summary of what was done and probably edit some of the footage over the top. So we'll see how this goes. But basically, we came down here and deleted our emergency water pumps and started them building this tower in. Now this tower is part of a new system which I will tell you about soon. There's our Lidos from last episode. Over here, last episode we completed this, which was simply to get rid of the bad water, but now we're going to turn it into a bit more of something. And part of that, we've started building this, which is to mark the centre line, and it's going to be a big waterfall with exposed bad water, and we're going to funnel all the bad water off the map this way, because currently some of it goes down here out of our little underwater plumbing system, and some of it gets fed through here, down here, under the water, and out of here. The bad tides just ended, so you can see this is clearing up. And we have some trapped under here. So what we're going to do is take it up in the air, and they've just finished building this tower. And we're going to bring it all up and bring all the paths together and bring them down the centre to a waterfall where it all goes off the map. We're going to have to be careful with flow rates and making sure we don't overload the system, because we could very easily end up in a situation where the bad water backs up and rains down all over our map, all over our poor little beavers, because they will be under it. So we're going to have to give that some thought by making sure it can flow out of the end of here fast enough, but also controlling the rate that it can flow into the system. And hopefully we'll try and make it so we can turn it on a little bit at a time, so we can test, or at least turn it off in an emergency. But as it stands, we're just going to have to think it through when we're doing it. And ways of doing that are, by water, and by extension bad water, can only flow so quickly off of an edge. It's 2.2 centimeters a second, or CMS, whatever that stands for. So, but there's no limit for upwards or horizontal. So we could potentially push loads of water up into our system and then have a huge bottleneck at the waterfall, which means it builds up and floods over all the edges. So however many edges we've got here, or rather how many edges we've got coming in, we need to make sure we've got at least as many going out. And the various ways of doing that, it's the number of edges you have. So that is an edge. But if we come out, but this is also an edge, so if we come out of here in a triangle shape and give it as many edges as possible, that should help us manage the flow rate. But I haven't done the maths, so we're just going to have to see what happens. There are ways we can control how fast it gets into the system, which we will do, but we are really going to have to keep an eye on what's happening. I'm going to put the sides in while we're here. Because it's been pretty slow going, but now they're up here, they've got more things they can be working on, because it was kind of one thing at a time until they got to this point, and now they should be able to fly along here. Something else I had the guys working on, we levelled our terrain here and extended it outwards here. I don't think they can guess this bit now, so we'll have to have a look at that, just to get some more power in, because we were relying on the batteries a little bit more than I was happy with, so we did need a few more. It was a little bit borderline. Okay, what I'm going to do is delete these 3 power shafts to ensure they can get down the back of there, because they had blocked themselves in a little bit. So they ought to be able to get on and finish that now, I think. That tower is done. This is where we're going to have our wonder ultimately, potentially, maybe. And they're getting on with this. Okay, so we know over here is going to have to be higher than that. So we might as well start planning that out a little bit. I'm coming from this direction, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to change my mind about that. So what I'm going to do is force them to build downwards. So we shall get rid. It's just to try and limit stranded beavers that I'm doing this. So we'll come up with a few platforms. And here. Because we've got all this structure here, so I'm going to take advantage of it. We don't need those. Silly me, get rid of those. Because what we're going to do is come up there, build off the edge here, and I think this is a 4 this direction, if I remember correctly. That looks about right, and we'll soon find out if it isn't. So then we're not rebuilding all the scaffolding, we're reusing the power tower. It's quite a long way up there, but there's not a huge amount we can do about it. We could potentially... That's what I'm going to do. I'll explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to let them do it in stages, so they don't have to go that high until they have to go that high. So we'll introduce a new... Goodness me. We'll introduce a new platform here. And we'll call that stage 1. And then once they've completed up to the top of stage 1, then they can come to here. Just to save them walking all the way to the top every time. Again, not the most efficient setup. We're not in a huge rush. And we'll lay all the dirt in this direction. So hopefully they'll block themselves on the platforms before they block themselves out on the tower. I'm sure someone will manage to get themselves stranded somewhere. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. I did not know that was a thing. What? I thought you could... I honestly thought you could go as high with that as you can go with anything. So if I now switch to levies... Oh. That is... extremely disappointing. Also, I would quite like to know where we are with our height. But this tool fades out over a certain number of blocks. Oh. Well, I mean, there's not a huge amount to be done for it. It looks like the top's going to be levies, which I hadn't really planned for. But what that does tell me is we're going to need more trees. And if we're going to need more trees, we're going to need more land. So we might end up putting our water pumpers somewhere else, because I'm about to take quite a lot of this water away. So if we shall start building out the land, leave a 3 wide channel for some nice efficient irrigation, and this is coming out of 15 blocks. I think you can do 16, but there's no point in pushing it. Okay, so that's the correct height. She'll fill this in back here as well. Take a quick redo on that. Just for efficiency's sake, I'm going to let them build that in that direction. So I don't want to stop all this happening until they finish this. Get them a path around there. And also set that up to obtain. Build this first, please, because I want to be able to prioritise it. So we can get... Wow, that's a really long way. I might let them build out from this direction as well. So this is where our water gets out of here, so we don't want to block it completely. So that's the 3 wide. Right, I nearly made a mistake then. I nearly built this right up to the edge here, and that would have blocked that route out. So I'll just leave a 3 wide here for consistency. Get rid of that. And then just to keep it nice and tidy, we'll reduce this one as well, so we get a nice straight channel all the way down here. Oops. And what I'm going to do is prioritize this entire back row, because then it'll be a shortcut over to this side for them, because they are trying to build this side first. So we should get that in. Oh, I didn't fill any of that in. I didn't even notice. That is probably going to take them a while. But we do need the trees. Over here. This is coming on. Why are they so hungry and thirsty? We've got plenty of food. Got plenty of food. And plenty of water, so it must just be a long way. We'll have to keep an eye on that going forward, because we're only going to get further away. And they're not really working on this, but that's as to be expected. What are we out of? Metal blocks. Okay, time to up our metal production then. Free up some bots. I'll go to our builders' huts. Are any of these still set to bots? Yeah, quite a few. So we'll put those back to normal beavers, which then gets us the bots back to work on our scrap metal. Excellent. And then it's no good having the scrap metal if we don't have a smelter to smelt it. In you go. And prioritise that. And bots. That's cool. So that's got the rest of that power in. So we do have to go and rebuild those power shafts that we removed. Click, click, click. And because of everything else we've done, we are going to have to prioritise those. But they're like one log each, it won't take very long. So what I am going to do over here is stick a little platform in. And that isn't for a path, it's so this forester range will extend over here. And they'll be able to help when it comes time to plant all these trees. And as I want a forester sort of in the middle of all this lot, so it can reach everything, probably makes sense to put those on the platform as well. This is kind of wasteful, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just as we're struggling for metal, I'm going to build a metal platform just to put our forester on. That's annoying, isn't it? I'll put him there. And can we get a bridge in? Not... yeah, we'll just have to be more patient about it. Because putting it like this will mean that the bridge can't go in. Oh yeah. Because those ropes will block it. Okay, scratch that. I was going to say, putting the bridge in that direction means they'll have to build the platform before they can build the bridge, which means coming down here. But it won't work if we do it in that direction. So we'll just come from this direction instead. It's not a bridge. Here we go. After all that. And hopefully, once this is built, so he can get out this way, that will extend his range out this way a little bit. Probably not far enough, to be fair. But we shall see where it leaves us. It'll be a good percentage of it, even if it's not all of it. Let's have a look where the next section of this is going to land. So where is that above right now? Okay. So unfortunately we are going to have to lose a couple of those sunflowers, I think. One sunflower, one potato. I think we can live with that. Now I've got those cleared. Oops. Come back in with our platforms. Our overhangs. Impermeable floor. Levees. just to make sure they don't run out of anything to do. Which I don't really think there was any danger of, but busy beaver is a happy beaver. Talking about happy, we're all looking with our well-being. Not fantastic. We've got loads of food. Not sure why that would be the case. Oh, because we're making them all walk thousands of miles. Aesthetics. Could do some more scarecrows, but that's about that. We don't have a fountain of joy or an earth recultivator, but that's obviously the wonder. I've got 4 mud pits, but I think they might just be a little bit out of the way. No one's using them. Potentially get another detailer in. Okay. But social life seems to be a big deal. So if we can find somewhere for some campfires near the housing, and potentially rooftop terraces, there'll be quick wins. And the dance hall doesn't need power, I don't think. So let's see what space we've got over near the houses. So campfires. Stick a couple of those in there. Again, we're going to have to prioritise them or they won't get done. So that's the campfires in the occasional shadow of our power tower. Which is a dance hall. 20 metal. How are we doing for metal? We are still not doing great for metal bars. Which is a shame because we do need more metal bars. I'm prioritising a lot of things by haulers. But we do have quite a lot of haulers. Construction-like materials. Yes, this is all things waiting for metal. For minimal benefit, just my own amusement, I've given them a little bridge here in the hope that this will make coming over here slightly more efficient. Maybe. Probably not. But I just wanted to do it. And prioritise the route to there, which won't mean anything if I don't put a path on it. I mean, ultimately, I'll probably get rid of that to make space for trees anyway. But we'll see. That might be a nice border for where the trees come up to. That's nearly finished. Come and finish it. I want to see where the forester can reach. Anybody? Prioritise that as well. I'm just prioritising everything at this point. It's ridiculous. And that's given us no additional information. I think it's time we upped our bot production. We don't need twice as many, but I would like to see more. So we'll double up our bot part factories and add a single assembler, and we'll see where that gets us. Oh no, our mine is flooded. So that's not ideal because we haven't got any metal, and now we're not going to have any scrap metal. I'm going to add some extra platforms in here to extend the range of this forester. And that's our bot factories in place, so we can build another bot assembler on top. We do have quite a lot of scrap metal still under the water over here, so I think we should go and get that because our mine is taking quite a long time to dry out. So we are going to have to build up out of the water because although you can scavenge underwater, you cannot have your scavenger flags underwater, so hopefully they'll still be in range. We can see if I put our scavenger flags on this platform, then we'll be able to reach the scrap metal. So we'll do that. No need to prioritize these because they're here doing it already. So we shall leave them building that for a while. That's those in. Something I did intend to do. Change them to bots. So if we go down to scavenger flags. Bot. Oh, what is this now? Who's this? Oh man. Come on then. Out you come. Oh, what are you doing all the way down there? Can you get out now? Oh, we'll build those stairs back now, shall we? Absolute liability. Hopefully get these ones built first so it doesn't happen again. Okay, well no one got stuck, so that's fine. Boop, 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 boop. And hopefully that should disappear pretty quick. And of course, now they've actually done that. We haven't got anyone in there because it's all dried out and they're off somewhere else. We are still short quite a few bots, and that is because they can't build bots because we haven't got metal. That is not ideal. There's not a ton we can do about that now. Hopefully it will sort itself out. How is one of our not metal requiring projects going? So they're making great work filling this in. get some trees planted in. Yes, this forester can reach quite a lot, so we might as well make use of it. I've changed my mind about using a metal platform here. Given the current situation, that's clearly wasteful, so we won't do that. And we'll just come in with the wooden platforms. And then forester. And remember to mark the area for cutting. And just there, as we've got the space. No, don't do that. I was going to stick a little warehouse, or a little pile, but then remembered that that would block both the lumberjack and the forester from reaching this side. Even as I'm saying it, I've deleted the platform which enabled them to get to that side. What is the matter with me? Okay, now just step away, leave them to it. You're clearly a cretin. Oh, I'm glad I built this little bridge, because that's being utilised quite heavily. Just noticed the beavers are going quite a long way around to get to this food. Actually, I don't... Yeah, it's just a long way around. So we'll fill in some of those paths and hopefully we'll have a few less hungry beavers. Run out of dirt. However, run out of dirt. What have I missed? Okay, so I built another dirt excavator. Well, the metal situation means we are running out of timber bots. And we're just stretched a little bit too thin at the moment. Our scrap metal is coming up, so that's great. That's come down a little bit now. It was 20, now it's 14. Okay, so I'm putting yet another metal smelter in here. But that does mean we're going to be pushing, even at maximum capacity production, we're probably going to be pushing our ability to produce scrap metal. And we have down here another mine. We can't get to it yet. So we might have to think about that soon. We have this forester in, so we might as well get him planting. As we expected, he can't reach all the way to the edge. No, that's fine. Just try to remember where that boundary is before we click on the tree, because it will disappear, which is quite irritating. And in the other direction, is that another 3? We'll see, he's now planting all the way up to his limits. We can come back and fill this in as the land is filled in, but there's not much left to do there at all. And back up to 20 because we've got 5 bots out of fuel. So until the metal situation's rectified, we are going to be struggling. This is demanding quite a lot of metal. Oh, there seems to be some here that they can't reach. Let's get these trees in, see what that's all about. Yeah, it's just a little bit too far, isn't it? So we've not planted these trees yet, so we'll come down here. Just let them get that finished. Our dirt is recovering. Still haven't got any metal. Okay, so I've been through and prioritised everything even remotely metal related, which is going to leave quite a few places without bots in them. But once we are producing the metal to produce the bots, then that should help us catch up. Although not if we don't produce the bots. So we'll up priority on everything producing bots, so we've got the bots to fill the jobs that aren't prioritised. So to get some more houses in, I'm just building up some land here. So we can put them on back of the builders. Because we kind of dead-ended ourselves there. But over here, they are making progress on this tower, which I'd kind of forgotten about, so that's good. Getting a double lodge just here. And now they're not going to get stranded. Throw this last piece of dirt in. Over here, they've completed this little section, so we can get rid of that road. And fill it in with trees. And already, our first oaks are growing in there. And our wood is recovering a little bit. Our scrap metal is recovering. But we're still using all our metal as fast as we can produce it. But we have got some spare bots now. I think we need to get to this mine. So with these stairs in place, they're going to be able to get to it, but it's not going to be enough to be able to get to it. It needs to be out of the water. So I don't necessarily want to do what we had to do over here, build that massive wall. So I think we'll just build a lid so they can get down here. Is that going to be high enough? Nope. Is that going to be high enough? Yes. We need to fill in around the sides. And now we just need to build the tunnel to get them in there. Have to build the front holes with levies, and then the impermeable tiles. Oops, didn't want to miss that. We don't necessarily need that one, but we shall put it in. And they should be able to build it from the inside. get this guy out of here. Come on, the little fella. So with that all sealed off, just give it a quick check. And it's just going to be a question of waiting for that to dry out now. How's this going over here? Slow and steady progress. So when the time comes we can just delete those tiles and that should fill up nicely. Still think there's quite a way to go into this at that level. It's good progress all the same. So the metal's coming up, so that showed me that this was done. So we'll extend it out another 6 tiles. So work has progressed off camera. We are extending our fertile land over here by reclaiming a lot of this water. Our tree production is up and our logs should be increasing shortly. We're not quite there yet. We are extending out the main feed to the outflow, giving the beavers a new way up because it was quite a long way around, and we're probably going to have to spin that around and give them a new way up here pretty soon. Our new mine is still flooded. If we can just have a look where that's at. So you can see the water level. It's pretty low down now, so it won't be long until we get that back. And we're also building out from this direction in an effort to meet in the middle. So yeah, work's continuing at a pace. We are still struggling for scrap metal quite a lot, and actual metal. But we've got plenty of bots on the go, and things are starting to tick along nicely. We're fine for food, which we have been for a while. Yeah, we have a stable colony, it's just our projects are not small. We have also extended out our wind farm. Our batteries just weren't cutting it anymore, and they weren't recharging fast enough. So we've done some pretty serious land reclamation over in this direction, and got a lot more wind power on the go, which as you can see is keeping these topped up nicely. So we might come out a little bit further, but for the moment that seems to be serving as well. And as we enter cycle 74 day 4, our mine is no longer flooded, so we now have 2 mines on the go, which ought to really help with our scrap metal situation. I'm going to have to watch our gear levels because they are dropping to quite low levels. But yeah, that puts us in a lot better place with metal, or at least with scrap metal. Metal not so much anymore, but we do have a lot of spare bots, so we ought to get them into a position of producing metal bars. I think add a few more spelters to the collection. But guys, this has been quite a long traumatic record for me. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. But for now, as we look down on our army of underemployed beaverbots, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you get to see this video soon, because I've now got to go and edit it. Have a good one, guys.